Call this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety to order. If you could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll move next to roll call for Treasurer Aldrich.
Carol Tree, present. Bradshaw.
Move next to the minutes from March 5th, I believe. Yes, March 3rd. Are there any additions, subtractions, deletions, or amendments to be made to this set of minutes?
Make a motion that we accept them as they are.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move next to the claims. The claims in the amount of $209,936.57. Any questions regarding the claims?
Yes, I have two.
Okay.
Claim 599 for attorney fees. They have their own counsel, don't they?
I think that was, so the council was in contact with McKinsey Martin. I don't know what it was regarding, what were those amounts? I filled out that claim.
Yeah, 150. Special meetings and
I
public.
mean, we could write it under a different line item.
We should. Nothing for us. Okay.
What's it under?
I can edit it.
You can edit that, and I have no problem with anything else. That's still good.
Mr. Bradshaw,
No, I second the motion.
was there first?
What's your question?
Accept them with those exceptions.
All right, well, the first and the second, to approve the claims, thank you, with the change of the line item number for those two mentioned. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We do have something to add to the agenda, and I can get to that here in a little bit. The first item of business, I've got discussion of, if we can skip the department heads unless we want to hear from them. I think hearing from them once a month. Pretty good. Discussion Tuesday night's meeting, so I think we've got everything squared away for the meeting tomorrow night, 6:30 at the canal. Everybody's invited to attend and encouraged to attend. We're going to be talking about the city of Delphi water system. At the conclusion of that meeting, I don't know if that's going to be videotaped, but I'll try to get something online, version of the PowerPoint, with some narration on it as well. So that'll be tomorrow at 6:30 at the canal. Next on the business that I have is the preliminary engineering report, which was included in your packet from Butler, Fammer, and Seifert. What this would do would allow us to bond. They would have the preliminary engineering completed for all the projects that we would need in the future. Well, not all of them, but most of them. So to qualify for state revolving fund bond rates, which is what, 2% right now, because you could use the state's bond rating. You have to do a preliminary engineering report beforehand. I'm trying to find the fee schedule here. So Butler Fairman's is $20,000. If they need to do geotechnical, we've allocated $5,000, and any archaeological, if they run into it, would be $2,500. So maximum on this contract of $27,500. 20 of that being for engineering.
Is that a year or is that?
That's just for this report. It would be done by June, I believe. Really, a lot of the schematic design that they did could be included, but it needs to be more in depth in the schematic design.
And then, my question, their fees are hourly fees after this initial, isn't that right?
Oh, well, that's to be taken out of that 20,000.
Oh,
So
okay.
depending on who's working on it, but
Okay,
it's not to exceed 20,000 unless they have to do geotech and archaeological, and those two aren't to exceed a combined of 7,500.
So then we can bond with the state rate, is that the idea?
There's a big process there, but this would allow us to submit an application. The state has a limited number of funds that they allocate for
At that rate?
at that rate, correct.
Otherwise, what would our rate probably be?
I don't know what market rate is now, and I don't know what it will be in 6 months or a year. It depends on the market and interest rates.
2% probably,
I would doubt it. I don't know what on the open market bond is right now. Probably high threes, low fours. But that could be changing, over time. Any other questions?
So everything in this agreement is in this packet right here.
Correct.
And it also states on there that that 27.5, that's a set amount unless a modification is agreed by the owner, and you be the city of Delphi be the owner.
So this would apply to any project that we have between now, and would you say June?
Well, not any project. If we do a sewer project, or if we do a
Any sort of water project.
different project. This is just to complete the preliminary engineering report. So what this would do is they would find all the potential projects that we could do for a water system that we could bond for. It doesn't have to be, it may exceed the scope of what we want to bond for, but they will want to include everything that we may want to do in the future.
Do they give you preliminary estimates on cost and things like that as part of this? At least
They-
engineers' estimates?
They can, but that also depends on when construction gets done. If they do a PER and they have multiple phases of it, then their engineer's estimate for phases that are further out aren't gonna be as accurate, because right now, with the amount of work to go around, inflation is, especially within construction, has been rampant. Plus, if you get steel and aluminum tariffs, could have an impact on the cost of doing business. Right now, there's a lot of unknowns as it pertains to price.
So this is kind of a insurance policy in a way that we're not gonna have a lot more expenses, and we're gonna be able to have the engineering work done.
This is one step that qualifies for the SRF bond. Not all the steps, but without doing this, we could not qualify for SRF funding. Any further questions? I would move to ratify the agreement between the city of Delphi and Belleville, Fairmont, and Seifert, as indicated in this document.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. If I could get your signatures. Next item of business that I have is a request for parking around the courthouse. They're getting married at the Union Center, May 12th, and the reception is at the Opera House. They would like to have the parking spots in front of and on the courthouse side of the street blocked for that afternoon, evening. So my assumption is between Main and Franklin on the west side of the street for their reception. And that the individual, if we set the cones on the corner, that they can put them out behind the spots.
What day is this? It's
It's a Saturday.
a Saturday?
Superintendent Lyons?
Yeah, that's actually gonna be from the alley to Franklin Street, so they're only wanting what's in front of, the Opera House and
across
directly
the
across
street?
the street, yes, so
Okay,
you're only
so-
talking the half block from the alley to Franklin Street.
Is that for just parking, or are they doing something special out there?
I believe his daughter wants to set up, she's got an old car, an old hot rod or something, she wants to set up and then do pictures and something he was explaining to me, something.
Then you have other events going on in downtown Delphi on May 12th.
Not that I'm aware of. I told them that, you know, they said they're gonna be there in the morning to set up, so that they would already be parking there. I told them if it was approved by you guys, that I would give them the cones and he'd be responsible for putting them out, so.
Do you have any problem with it?
Do I?
Yeah.
Not as long as he's putting the good cones out and we don't have to come in and there isn't another event or anything going on that it has direct conflict with. I guess I don't have anything.
I don't have anything on my calendar. I would think I would know if we had something going on.
May 12th, I think.
The courthouse is
Half a
closed, so
block
they won't
of
give us
Everything's
idea.
closed, and it's probably, is it an evening or afternoon?
It's in the evening.
No, there's a problem.
I don't think so. Gregor, Delphi Chamber having anything?
Nothing I'm aware of.
I would move to grant parking north of the alley, between the alley and Franklin on Washington Street.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Move next to Greater Delphi Chamber fireworks. Mr. McKean, I'll grant you the floor.
Okay. This is a request, much like last year, we're gonna hold the fireworks at the high school. This is a copy of that request. That has the invoice from Foreman Blasters plus a full layout of the plan that they provide as far as their show. It also has a copy of our estimated profit and loss budget for the event. I turned one into the city council, but I haven't yet given one to the board of works, so that is included there. I highlighted the passages of what our expenses versus profits for that event go. And so we are requesting, as you know, last year we requested a full reimbursement for those funds because as of that time we could not spend any money. This year we can, we are raising money for it, but we, as a board, decided that it would be appropriate to request up to the amount of the cost of the show, excluding expenses as far as advertising and any other expenses that we accrue for holding it. So that request for up to an amount of $6,000 is just for the show itself.
I guess my thoughts are on it, that when we discussed it last year, we were under the assumption that you'd be raising money for the future, and I know the city of Delphi has contributed to fireworks in the past. I think average amounts, don't quote me on this, but I know there was one at least for 1,000, maybe one for 1,500.
It's been 1,000 ever since I've been here.
Yeah.
Since 2009.
Since I've been on the board, it's either been 1,000. I think there was a few years before that they did 2, but that was before my time.
That was before me.
What does that come out of?
Promotional.
Promotional?
And yes, we did discuss that last year, and we are raising money, so we're raising money for the event in itself. It was just decided, it was voted on by our board that we request up to that amount, being whatever the city could offer, and we also feel that the city has a vested interest in seeing that this event is as big and powerful, I guess we'll say, as it can be.
What are your guys' thoughts?
So you're requesting the whole 6,000?
Up to.
Up to 6,000.
I don't have a problem with 1,000.
I don't have a problem with 1,000, I just wanna help them because they're still struggling, and we have promotional money. I mean, that's what that's about. The edit and the promotional money is about items like this, and that's where we need to, we've got the money and we've got the event and we've got the need and we've got people who will responsibly conduct those things, and it's a big deal in Delphi. I don't know how many people come to the fireworks, but I would guess it's 1,000, maybe more.
Probably, I don't have an estimate on the exact number of people.
Back parking lot of the school is normally pretty full.
Well,
You got
the
people
church
parked around
is full, and
Mongols.
there's, yeah, it's all over.
Plus, last year, in order, we made the show a little bit bigger. We increased it by $2,000. And part of that was to make it a larger, height aerial show that you could see it from, pretty much any place in town. If you wanted to watch it from your backyard, you could see it. So that was the
Find all
reason
the
for that.
people who have other fireworks at the same time, who seem to try to compete. I bet you could, if they gave you the money they spent, you have a lot.
Yeah.
$50,000 show.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'd have to do it in the middle of nowhere, so nobody got
I know.
And for years, when the show was $5,000, we raised all that on our own, aside from the $1,000 that the city normally gave us. In order to make it a little bigger, it was decided by our board that we should ask for a little bit more, just because we didn't think we'd have to accrue all of the costs for that, because the city should also be interested in helping as well.
I would like to see, this doesn't go through the chamber, the council goes through the board of work, because
We have $20,000 appropriated in the edit promotional fund, or line item.
how much have we got?
I don't know, I didn't know we were gonna get into this, and I guess maybe here's conservative Annie for you. I think this is March. You got a long year ahead of you. So this isn't gonna be the only project that's gonna come up before you and ask for money. It won't be. So that's something to think about.
I think the $1,000 is what the city's done in the past. I think it's a great event for the city of Delphi, and I'm glad you guys put it on.
How do you raise the rest of your money?
We sell advertising for it. We sell sponsorship for the event. That's really the only way that we have to raise money, other than just going around asking for donations from our.
Do the merchants kick in at all?
Mhm, yeah.
They do, okay.
Yeah, some of them just flat out donate. Some of them would like to be sponsors. You know, we have banners made for all the businesses, so if you want to sponsor an event, normally it's about $100 per sponsorship, and your banner is hung up at the entrance to the event, or, you know, we have a structure that we can build if we have that many people that sponsor. You know, it's built on 3 poles with three diagonal and horizontal poles, so that you can hang up to, it was like 15 banners, you know, from it, if you had that many people. That's what we use for Old Settlers, in sponsorship for that, so. That's the other way, and really our only way of raising the money for it. And we operate, you know, like I said, in the budget, you know, it shows that we have, you know, a little bit of profit, you know, left over at the end of the year, but those are things that we've done, like adding a staff and running an office, you know, that the rent went up considerably, so. It's one of those, you know, for us, you know, we don't have a whole lot of additional money that we operate with.
Any further discussion? I'll move to support Greater Delphi Chamber of Commerce by assisting with $1,000 to go towards the fireworks show.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Leanne, I guess we can talk after the meeting, how we got the check. We do have an invoice here.
Oh, yeah. You can cut it right away and put it on the next Board of Works. Are you gonna get a certain % of discount again like you did last year?
Yeah, that's why the request was made right now, because we have to have the money to them by April the 16th in order to get that discounted rate.
By
Or else
April.
April the 16th.
Yeah,
Alright,
you
I'll
can
just
cut
make a
it
claim.
tomorrow and just put it on the next docket.
Thank you, sir. The next item of business I have, and I don't need any action on this, conversion to LED lights. Last year, Duke finally got a proposal to us. I wanted to approach them about some other areas in town where we would like additional lighting, those being East Main Street between, I don't know, Reinhardt and the bridge over Robinson's Run, and then on Washington Street in the corner there by the canal, because you have more truck traffic coming in to the old P&R. That's something that the owner had requested. So I did get some proposals back from Duke. It only took a few months. And I didn't look at the cost. So they've got, for the East Main Street and North Washington Street, for 5 lights total, they have an amount of $10,347.70. I thought I did include, okay. So the LED conversion light proposal is a total of $111,152.45. Their estimate was that we would be saving $2,600 a month by converting to LED, and that it would take approximately 3 months for them to do the work. So I need to talk to Leanne, and I need to talk to Security Federal about financing this. Duke does have financing options, but I don't think the interest rate is as good as we would get from somebody else. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. We have $122,000 worth of work. I think the East Main Street and North Washington are necessary. Generally around town we have streetlights every block, which is around 350 feet. Really there's a section about 1,200 feet on East Main that we didn't have anything.
So how many total lights would this include?
For the LED conversion, they would be switching out the heads on 216 lights.
Now, all the ones downtown are all LEDs now.
Correct. Those are city-owned poles and lights, so they would not be touching those. The decorative poles, Aaron, on East Main and Hoosier Heartland, those are our poles as well, correct? Correct. So they wouldn't be changing those out. These would be Duke-owned lights. We have a maintenance contract with them, which is that roughly $500. That's maintenance and electric for the streetlights within the city.
East Main aren't LEDs, are
The new ones?
they? New ones.
No, I don't believe they are.
We're not talking about changing those?
We probably should, but let's get through 230 lights first, or 220 lights first. And
There are not that many up there, what maybe dozens.
probably 12. I don't know what that would, with those being city-owned poles, it may be I mean, it'd be a different process. It's something we could look into.
That would be something that we would do in-house or hire somebody to do if we couldn't do it ourselves. I don't know what kind of bulbs those are. I don't know if they just simply screw in and there's an LED replacement for them. It could very well be.
So that's something we can look into, while I'm talking to Security Federal or whatever finance institution. Yes, sir.
So you say the savings is $2,600 a month?
That was their approximate. I think it went from
Okay, so we're talking
3,100
about
to
a
500.
4-year payback, basically.
3.5 years based on.
3.5 to 4 years, and so then we'll be saving $30,000 a year after the payback, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
The energy saving, it's $31,000,
Yeah, that's-
$2,600, yeah.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. Payback will be 3.5, 4 years, and then we'll be ahead 30,000 every
Well,
year.
we pay,
Right.
but we just looked at that the other day, Aaron, right at 28,000 a month for Duke, right? For all of our lights?
But that's,
28,000 or 2,800?
I'll go down and get it.
Does that include?
What did we pay? When we pulled that out? Was it 2,800?
I don't remember if that was just for the lights or if that was, we pulled that out for,
We don't need it right now since we're not making a final decision.
Yeah,
I could see with the electric we need for wastewater and water
no,
to possibly increase.
no, I think I'm correct. Wastewater, gets tapped for around 6,000 a month. So's water.
28,000 is a lot for just lights,
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's what we pay Duke a month.
just for lights.
Yes,
It's quite a bit, I remember that when I was in the Board of Works.
yes.
That means we're paying $360,000 a year for lights.
The city is, the general account is not. Water and waste pay a horrible bill each month. But you start figuring up all the, I'll go down and get a bill for you. You start figuring it up.
You know, there's a lot of line items on the claims every month.
I think, Dick, you're sitting back there.
Yeah.
She gives you a copy of the Duke we pay every month for you.
Yeah.
It's around $6,000.
Oh, no, for the plant?
Yeah,
Oh, the plant's
well, now don't,
anywhere between 8,000 and 10,000 a month.
Mhm.
Then the lift stations are,
Yeah,
That's sort of-
lift stations are off to the side too. Water pays a horrible fee every month.
Does that 28,000 include wastewater and water or not?
Yes,
Okay.
so only part of that's coming out of your tax revenue, but I'm telling you, if you're gonna save it, you're gonna save it overall, eventually. I mean, even like you're switching to LEDs in here, it's eventually you come to a savings at all, but your major savings that you're looking at what's being paid with tax dollars.
Correct.
Correct. So you're looking at that only at this point in time, but if our bill runs $28,000 a month and 6, 7,000, 13,000 of it's water and wastewater, the rest of it's the city's.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Mhm.
All right. I was confused.
Yeah. Well, I
Well,
went the long
according
way
to
around
Duke,
it.
what our bill is for their lights, just the Duke lights, the 216 that we have in town, but their bill's roughly 3,100 a month for that. That's maintenance and the electric.
Well, that seems low to me, but maybe that's correct.
That's
Because
what
all
they
their
say.
lights are at our parks and everywhere, right?
Some are theirs, some are ours.
Wouldn't that be mostly Duke lights in our parks and
yeah,
stuff?
but you've also got all the electricity in the city building that we're using. You've got other panels, you've got our pump stations in that too. So I mean, $3,100 is probably about right. And then you add in the city building, my pump station. We got panels in the park that we pay for. I mean, it's,
It could be, it just seems low to me, but it could be.
I just wanted to bring it up.
Mhm.
But that's what we'd be looking for. I'll get more options here. Hopefully have it in 2 weeks, we can get the conversion going here soon so we can start saving some money. Next item of business that I have, and I forgot to put it on the agenda because I forgot that we were opening it, is we had talked before, after the well 3 to 5 connection cost too much money, whether there was other options available to get well 3 into the system as an emergency source of water. Butler Fairman indicated that there would be if we went from well 3 to well 1. They had to talk to IDEM. IDEM cleared it with us. I think we got the permit or survey or whatever the legally binding thing is that says we can proceed.
They're turning that in, but they're gonna approve it.
So what these are is to connect well 3 to well 1. It's not the entire length because we do have some 8-inch main between them. I believe it's 400 foot of 12 inch. 12 inch
From 3 to 1.
between well 3 and well 1. It doesn't extend the entire way, but extends most of the way. We'd be able to get water from well 3 over to well 1 from chlorination and get it into the system.
But from well 1, we only have an 8-inch main, right?
Correct.
But eventually we want to hook well 7 into well 1 as well, correct?
Eventually what we would do, if we stay in the current aquifers, we would switch the flows. So well 1 would be going through well 3, which would be going to well 5, well 7 would connect somewhere along that line. So I have 2 estimates back. It was anticipated to be, I think, between 50 and 150,000, which is why we had to request estimates. If it's over 150, we had to request bids. Engineers did not believe it'd be over 150. So we have Milestone Contractors LP. I forgot we were doing this. I should have brought my letter opener up. Haven't really done. No, I'll just tear the estimate to shred. Milestone came back at $167,770. $167,770. F&K Construction. This is nice. Came back at $57,930. That is correct, $57,930. So my request would be to take these under advisement, talk about them with Butler, Fairman, and Seifert, make sure that everything's here that needs to be here so that they're responsive and responsible bidders, and that we could award at a later date. Does that sound okay with you, Craig? Board? All right, so we'll take these under advisement. I say them slow enough?
Yeah.
All right.
Not really, but I can.
That is all I have for business on the agenda. Is there any other business that needs to be attended to today? Superintendent Lyson?
Did I misunderstand you? Were we gonna have discussion about the trenching and that for the kiosks? I have it here, or we can table it for 2 weeks, but
I can't remember. We didn't talk about that last time?
you and I, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Cause I just got this, unless I hit my head and I forgot that we discussed it in the meeting, but I don't think we discussed it.
Did you guys discuss it last time? Was it on the agenda?
What was it, I'm sorry, what
I can't remember.
was it doing about?
Electric for the,
Yes.
Would I say no?
For the kiosks?
For the kiosks.
We didn't talk about it last time.
I think we did.
we talked about the fiber. Can it wait 2 weeks? Or
Yeah, that's fine.
any other business that I forgot about? No? All right. Clerk treasurer comments?
No.
Board comments, Mr. Bradshaw?
That meeting tomorrow night, there's a lot of information going to be dispensed, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout, and hopefully people will be able to get the questions answered that they have, and we'll feel a lot better about the situation after that time. So I hope everybody makes it, and particularly hope the council all make it.
Mr. Traeger?
Mhm.
All right, public? All right, no further business?
I move to adjourn.
Did I miss
Do that?
anything?
I don't know, you got Bluebird.
That's under future business.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, 5:59 PM.